Welcome to subramani.com. I'm going to give you 10 easy steps to create wealth. You see what works for you. And let me also tell you, these are not mine. I'll tell you whose steps these are. So, a lot of young people would like to know how to get rich. What they don't tell you is how to get rich quickly. The question is not just how to get rich, जल्दी कैसे हो सकता है. So that is a little difficult, and I've always held that you can be rich, you can be wealthy, but it takes time. But the problem is they don't want to be sitting in the Alps and having coffee. They want to be skiing in the Alps. So skiing in the Alps means you have to go in your 20s, maybe in your 30s, but definitely not in your 60s. You can ski in your 60s provided you've been skiing right from your 20s and 30s. Suddenly you're not going to learn, right? So I said, okay. So there is this author called Ken Fisher, who is apart from being an author, far more famous as a fund manager, and he's also written books. But and another claim to fame is he's Phil Fisher's son. And if you've read books by Phil Fisher, great. If you've not read, you should go and read it. So he says there are only 10 roads to wealth, and he enumerates those 10 roads. And I'll talk about those 10 roads, and because I'm going to talk about it, I'm going to read. I'll read the road and then I'll tell you. So first is the route which many successful people have taken, like Bill Gates and all, that set up your own business, take the company public. That is the finest way to create a lot of wealth, because it means you're running a business, you're earning 1 rupee and the market gives you a P of 30. So therefore you suddenly get valued at 30 times of what you have done. So this is the route which most people or many people take. And Uday Kotak, Mr. Motilal Oswal, Mr. Motilal Oswal and Ramdev Agarwal, Nirmal Jain, Rasesh Shah, all these people have taken that route of, or you take Narayan Murthy, you take any of these people, this is what they did. They set up a successful business and then they went and got it listed. The minute you get listed, you get a high valuation of say 20 PE or 30 PE. So every rupee that you earn gets a respect of 30 times, and therefore you get rich. That's the first one. Second one is become the CEO of an existing firm and get a very high salary. Not everybody is able to do it, but some people have been able to do it. Jack Welch did it, Nike at L&T did it. There are many others who are there. This does create wealth, but not that kind of wealth which the first one creates, where being the owner and having a listed company creates. But this also creates good wealth these days. Many CEOs get paid well in the region of 5-6 crores, maybe even 10 crores. And I'm not talking of owner CEOs, I'm talking of professional CEOs. Third, the nice one is to hitch on with a successful guy. So I'm a techie guy, and so I just go and hitch with one of these persons mentioned in the first one. That Nirmal Jain, for example, is not a tech person, right? He's a chartered accountant, MBA. So I go and become his tech person, his number 2, and then I create wealth for myself too, though not as much wealth as the promoter creates for himself. But yeah, the golden dust falls on you too. So if he may create some 3,000 crores for himself, you end up creating 40-50 crores for yourself, and that's not too bad, considering creating that kind of wealth with a job is not going to be very easy. So if he is good enough and parts with more money, maybe you create 100 crores for yourself. So that is the third one. Fourth, of course, is turn celebrity into wealth. You become a celebrity, you get, you play a sport. Of course, this needs tremendous talent. It's not easy to say pick up a bat and become a Sachin Tendulkar, or move some pieces of horses and elephants and become a Vishwanathan Anand. No, it's not going to going to happen so easily. But yes, that's another way of hitting big time, good riches, 1,000 crores plus kind of net worth. The fourth or the fifth one is, of course, a very well thought of old strategy: marry very well. See, being poor is bad luck. if your father is poor, it's bad luck, but if your father-in-law is also poor, it is bad planning. You should have planned better. So if you're not married, try marrying a rich girl, and if you're a rich girl who is not yet married, try marrying a rich boy. This works. We have to in the end see what works for whom. The other one is to set up your own business and steal money. No guns needed, nothing, no gun license. There are enough number of banks and investors willing to part with money. अपनी ज़िंदगी मस्त कटती है. You can really have a nice, comfortable life taking money from a lot of people, but continuously take money. Every 3-4 years you take some money and say this will work, that will work, and so call it equity, call it debt. If you call it debt, remember to pay interest and repay the loan and make sure that those checks don't bounce. You can always go get people to say you're a startup and people will give you money, and you can start that at 25 and go until 65. That's not a problem. That makes money legally without any guns or a knife or anything. Capitalize on other people's money. Where most of the mega rich are, you really get into very good top quality fund management. OPM, that is other people's money, makes a lot of money. Ken Fisher is one of them, right? So money managing makes more money than money itself. So get into money management. If you can do that well and handle, say, 10,000 crores, you can make 100 crores for yourself, and 10,000 crores managing doesn't seem to be very difficult today. There are 42 mutual funds in India, and all of them manage more than 10,000 crores. So yeah, so that's not impossible to do. Monetize a lot of your real estate which your father has left or your grandfather has left, and it's not what a Hiranandani has done for himself, what a Raheja has done for himself, what a Parekh have done for himself, right? So largely you could do that, or you could come to the 10th most important step, the one which works for me and which will work for you, is save well. Okay, let me go one step away. Study well, get a good job, save well, invest smartly, do an SIP or whatever, learn about equities and start doing equity investments. That is the way which worked for me. You have to see which of these 10 ways will work for you. Do accordingly. To me, the 10th is the one which worked, so I will stick to 10. I couldn't fit into any of the other things, so I'm happy with my formula. Study well, earn well, invest well, and that will create wealth for you. That's what works for me, right? Thank you.